All right, so demonstration of a multi-user, multiplayer applications. Today, everything pretty much is connected, and one of the best things that is required in a particular application is the ability for people to collaborate across the network, whether it's a local network or a global network. They need a way to connect to each other and be able to synchronize and collaborate. So this illustrates what is coming out of the box with Unity, their latest networking architecture using Netcode. And this is a simple demonstration of a client-server network architecture. So you see 4 instances of the application, and what we'll do is connect one of them as a host, and the rest are going to join as a client. The other thing you would notice is that there's a couple of simple user interfaces, of course, allowing the user to either become the host or join an existing session. We have a list box over here that will keep track of all of the users that join the session. And then down here on the right bottom corner of the screen, on each of the clients, you would see what's called a mini-map. Basically, it's another view of the environment, a top-down view of the environment to give you a different perspective of what's happening within that scene. All right, so let's go ahead and connect the host. And as the host joins, you notice that we visually represent the actual user that just joined with some sort of a geometry. And then, of course, they would instantly create a record, user profile record with a timestamp and etc. as far as when they joined, their identification, and also some sort of a user attribute, which right now it's set to 0, denoted by the red 0. The black 0 is the actual unique ID identifying the user. All right, so let's go ahead and join a client, and you would see immediately very smoothly the client joins. And as the client is moving around in the scene, very easily it's being transmitted across the other clients. And notice that also the list of the users has increased and it's properly displaying it. So let's go ahead and just join all of them. So I'm going to join the third client or the third user. Again, each one of them is uniquely identified visually and also by their unique identifiers. And let's go ahead and join the last one. By the way, this system supports as many users as you would like, but without getting into too much complexity, there are some considerations that you might want to do if you are creating such an environment for your applications. All right, so the next thing I want to illustrate is that let's go ahead and randomly change that user attribute for the host. And you notice that it automatically updated that user property to 23, and it's propagated across all of the different clients that are part of this session. And I can quickly go ahead and do it for all of them. Let's go ahead and update each one of these guys, and you notice, so this is client 4 with unique ID of 3, 78, 78, 47, 47, and etc. So that's pretty nice, actually. It's done really nicely. The other cool thing about this is, what if a user wants to start instantiating their own assets, right? So in such kind of an environment, the user might want to introduce their own assets and also be able to remove their own assets. So that's going to be demonstrated by the following. So let me go ahead and just reposition some of these player characters. And I'm going to start rotating the host. As we can see, it's rotating, and then I'm going to tell it to start shooting out some sort of assets. And you see that it's really nicely propagating all over the place. Similarly, I can go ahead and do it for every other client. And you see that it's really smoothly transferring and synchronizing all of this data across the network between the host and all of the clients. So this is a simple illustration, but at the same time, there's a lot of really important core concepts behind it. And you can take this to the next level. Of course, there's some other cooler stuff that you can do. Maybe in future demonstrations, I will go ahead and introduce you to those other concepts. All right, the other thing would be, for example, let's say if a user wants to actually depart, right? So once you depart, assuming this is client number 2, if I'm not mistaken. So let's say he or she drops off, and as they do, what happens is that everything else is being synchronized again, right? So visually, they are no longer there. And from a network data perspective, also everything has been properly updated. And you would do the same if as users or players drop off, you would get the same concept. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll try to create a little more advanced versions of multi-user experiences in the future.